Here's the weather we're looking at here in Valdez. It's not ideal because of the rain, but we've got lots of cool clouds. Let's see what the AWOS is calling.
Altimeter 3024.
3024, not too bad.
Valdez Airport. Automated weather observation 1819er. Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 7. Sky condition scattered 400. Broken 1000. 900. Overcast 5000. Temperature 1.
So it's actually calling VFR here. That's great. 7 miles visibility and a ceiling of over 1,000. What did it say? 1,400 or something. Got a little scattered layer at 400. But driving in, I can see a few mountain peaks, so I know I've just got some isolated lower ceilings right here. Should be able to get out of there, no problem. Some important things I always have when it's rainy like this, even though I don't have any passengers. Passengers that have been standing in the rain and they get in the helicopter and they are wet from getting rained on or what have you. But anyway, then you will condensate on the inside of the helicopter. So I always have a yellow rag at the ready. I also have my door open until the very last minute. Or you could just not breathe. That helps too. I'll file a flight plan. But I also have my inReach Garmin with an SOS button here. I have it set up properly for the right people to know if I hit the SOS button. I have a satellite phone. It's in the green dry bag in the back. I've got a handheld radio, and I have a 406 ELT. I'd say that's probably the most important thing right there is the 406 ELT. Do not fly a machine that doesn't have a 406 ELT. If it just has regular old 121.5 ELT, they're not even going to launch search and rescue for you. They're not going to know how to narrow it down where you are at all. Good morning, Juno Radio, helicopter 907, Victor Sierra 122.2, Valdez with a pre-stored.
Number 907, Victor Sierra, Juno Radio, go ahead.
I'd like to file and activate from Valdez to Columbia Glacier, return to Valdez. Just one on board, pilot is Lee. I've got 2 hours of fuel and I will be gone for 3 hours. What did I forget?
Number 907, Victor Sierra, roger, your flight plan is filed and activated. Monitor Valdez automated weather for current altimeter, air maps for mountain obscuration, and IFR. Pilot reports appreciated.
7 Victor Sierra, thank you. I know what I forgot. If I had told him that I have the advisories, he would not have had to tell me about the weather advisories. I'll save him a few words next time. Magneto check. That looks good. Sprag clutch check. Okay, everything looks good. The only other thing I did not do today that I really should, and that's because I'm all out of pledge and plexus, which is super bummer, but I should have waxed my windows because that will inhibit me from slowing down and getting through any muck if I needed to. I will check my horn on the way up. Governor goes on, horn comes on. It should go off at 97. Perfect. All doors are closed and latched. Lights are all coming on, including pulse lights. Valdez traffic, helicopter 7 Victor Sierra picking up from the airman hangars. Will be a west departure. I'll be pretty tail low. I do have a bit of ballast under my seat, but yeah, coming way off of the back of my skids. Looks all clear. I'm going to take off low and fast to get this actually a little bit high and fast because I have limited visibility with all the raindrops. Against a black tarmac, almost like a glassy.
You don't have your Bluetooth on?
I do not have my Bluetooth on, but I can go to the fingers. Hurry up. Oh, I see you, Al.
I see you there. Wispy Wednesday.
Wispy Wednesday. Where did you go?
It's beautiful out there. You can't go wrong anywhere you go. But yeah, I went out to shoot and back.
Awesome.
The clouds go.
You know I like the clouds.
Have fun out there.
Thank you. All right, I will climb above this layer so I'm not obnoxiously low over town. It's a pretty thin layer. I can see below it. If I did have to make a emergency auto-rotational landing, I could just auto straight down. I'd be able to see as I'm going down. Oh, look at this. I am over water. Floats are no longer locked. Unlocked and loaded. Passing by the Shoup cell phone tower right here. I set the culverts in there. Set the solar panels. Did a lot of building on that site. Low tide. You can see this is where the face of Shoup Glacier was about 500 years ago. And it has retreated quite a bit over the last few years. It's retreated more than I've seen it. So it's no longer touching the water. Oh, well, it might be soupy where I'm trying to go because I really want to go and check out the lake and see if it has had its big release yet. A few days ago in Juneau, the Mendenhall, I can't remember what they call the lake. But anyway, there's a big lake up Glacier on the Mendenhall, and it had its big release. And sadly, people have built their homes in its pathway. So when it releases, it's a big deal because it actually affects homes. When this one releases, there's nobody out here, but it's quite a spectacular event. I had similar weather situation last night when I came out here, and it was not good. It was pretty much fog to the ground all the way to Columbia. So we may or may not be able to get up there. When I'm talking to you guys, I feel like you're here with me. Except the weight and balance works out in my favor. I can climb like a banshee, like a homesick angel. I'm only pulling 21 inches. Here's 22 inches. Let's see how fast I can climb. There's 1,200 feet a minute, 1,400 feet a minute, 1,500 feet a minute, 16, and I'm still doing 60 knots. All right, I can see Anderson Glacier underneath the clouds, but I can also see terrain above the clouds, so I'm going to choose the above route because it's dark. You have contrast rather than being up against the ice and snow where it's white just like the clouds. Although I can actually see all the way across to the other side of Anderson under the clouds that way. I'll go take a look-see. The Shoup Glacier off my right. Self-contained glacier, no ice field above it. So just however much snow lands there throughout the winter is what feeds it, whether it grows or not. This year we had a huge snow year, but it has definitely been receding. So this is where it would have been nice if I could have pledged my window, waxed it, because then I could slow down and the beading of the moisture from the outside would not stick to the window. It would just bead right off, even when I was slow. So kind of need to keep my speed up. I'm doing 90 knots now. And I'll have to slow up around this corner because I can't see past it just yet. Nope, it's looking very much the same as last night. which means it's not even worth it to go over there because I can't even see where the outflow would be. I won't even be able to see the event if it's happening. Nope, I can see clouds all the way up to the mountains over here. See down over there. So I'm off of the mountain a bit so that I can turn right so that I have visibility when I go to make my turnaround. I'm hugging the fog layer on the left so that I have more room on the right to make a turn. I'm still doing 90 knots, but I can't see past this ridge, so I will have to slow down. And I can actually see that fog is touching that ridge there, so it's not looking wonderful. Veering a little more to the left because I have more visibility that way to make my turn to the right. Slowing down, collective's going down, and yep, the fog is creeping all the way up this mountain here. I don't feel like crawling down through any of that soup, so I turn around. Still doing 55 knots right here. Plenty of visibility up against this mountain. Would have been a very uncomfortable turn if I was facing that stuff to turn left. All right. I'll figure out another plan. Can't go look at the lake today, or at least on this go. So maybe I'll find a cool spot to land and check out the clouds. Now I've got white snow here. There's lots of sun cups and there's all that algae, so I have a nice frame of reference, plus I'm looking on both sides, so I know that I'm not going to hit the snow as I go over this. But typically you'd want to hug the rocks. You know, there was a new ice cave down here. Maybe I'll go check that out.